Welcome to the series, The Origin of Idioms. Imagine waking up one morning with a heavy head, a sore throat, and an overall sense of fatigue. You feel sluggish and not quite yourself, as if your energy has been sapped by some invisible force. You know you're not seriously ill, but you're definitely not at your best. This common experience when someone feels slightly unwell or out of sorts is summed up by an idiom that has roots in the world of seafaring and the unpredictable nature of the weather. The origins of this expression date back to the 19th century, during a time when long sea voyages were a way of life for many. Sailors spent weeks or even months at sea, facing all kinds of harsh conditions. The weather at sea was particularly important, as it could make the difference between a smooth voyage and a dangerous ordeal. When storms or rough weather hit, the ships would rock violently, making life on board difficult and often perilous. The constant motion of the ship, combined with the cold, wet conditions, frequently led to seasickness and general physical discomfort among the crew. Sailors who were unwell or exhausted from the harsh conditions would often be sent below deck to recover out of the wind and waves. This area below deck was referred to as being under the weather bow, the part of the ship that received the full force of the wind and weather. Over time, the phrase was shortened to simply under the weather, and it came to be associated not just with seasickness, but with any feeling of being unwell. The connection between weather and illness became a metaphor for how external forces, much like a storm at sea, could affect a person's physical state. By the early 20th century, feeling under the weather had entered common English usage to describe a mild state of illness or discomfort, particularly when someone feels run down, fatigued, or slightly ill without being seriously sick. Today, the idiom is widely used in everyday language. For example, someone might say, "I'm feeling a bit under the weather today," when they have a cold or are just not feeling their usual self. Similarly, an employee might call in to work saying they need to take a day off because they're feeling under the weather. Thus, when someone says they are feeling under the weather, they are using a phrase that harkens back to the days of sailors battling the elements, reflecting how external conditions can affect our well-being, even when we're far from the sea. So, now you know.